Hi guys, it's Sebastian Bates here, the founder of the Warrior Academy and the host of the Warrior Academy podcast. Today I wanted to share with you a short chapter from the book Not a Victim. Not a Victim is a book I wrote in 2021 with the sole aim of helping parents mentor their children through the very, very difficult transition of bullying. I also recorded it as an audiobook, so if you'd like to have that book, then listen to this chapter, get a feel for what it's all about, and then have a look on Spotify or Audible for the audiobook, or even on Amazon for the physical book if you like a paper-based book. I really hope that it helps you prepare your child for the eventuality of going through bullying. Bullying is an inevitable but difficult transition that most of us go through in our lives. And as parents, I think it's really important we act proactively to prepare our children for the eventuality of having to go through it themselves. We can't always be there for our children, but we can give them the tools. We can empower them to face life's obstacles on their own. I hope you enjoy this chapter. Breck Bednar. Breck was groomed online through his gaming console, in full view of his friends and his mum. The groomer was playing a long game. It took time to gain Breck's trust and start to create a distance between him and his mum, to the point where one day, instead of going to visit his dad in London, as had been planned, he took himself to his new friend's flat, where he was abused, assaulted, and murdered. What compounds the tragedy is that Breck's mum was heavily involved in his digital life and had noticed changes in behaviour, but was still powerless to stop the advances of the killer, who would even tell Breck to say hello to her when she was around. Suspecting that he was being groomed, she went to the police, but nothing was done about it. It took the tragic loss of his life for the police to reform the way they handled such cases. Unfortunately, the way in which children use the internet and its platforms provide predators such as Breck's killer with a much larger pool of opportunity. Breck's story had been turned into a docudrama entitled Murder Games: The Life and Death of Breck Bednar, and his mother has sought to use the tragic loss of her son as a motivation for other parents and caregivers to understand what their children are doing in the online space. So, is it a matter of educating our children on the dangers of the cyberspace? The reality of the digital world we live in is that, unfortunately, it's almost guaranteed that our child will be exposed to cyberbullying at some point. This means that we have to help them build resilience by equipping them with the tools to recognize what is happening and overcome it, whatever form it takes. The most effective way of doing this is through open communication channels between children and parents. But this is hard to do when we parents may feel we have no commonality with them, and our child thinks that we don't know anything about their world. This is where the work begins for many of us. As early as possible, we have to find ways to talk our child's language, which means finding an interest in things that perhaps wouldn't interest us. If we take the time to foster and cultivate that interest, we can empower our children to view cyberbullying in a different way. Our final story of cyberbullying shows how this can be achieved. I really hope you enjoyed today's Warrior Academy podcast episode. We're going to keep creating these episodes because I know that so many parents find them useful or get insights or get ideas about how to develop their child's character. But it all comes down to the 3 C's: confidence, conduct, and concentration. So if you want to get a deep insight into the levels of confidence your child has, the level of concentration they have, or the level of conduct they have, so that you can actually put a score next to it and then work towards increasing those scores like we do in the Warrior Academy, then I'd love to invite you to fill in the Breakthrough Area Assessment. It takes about 5 minutes of your time, and you will get a personalized PDF report on your child's 3 C's. To access the Breakthrough Area Assessment and find out your child's 3 C's score, all you need to do is go to www.breakthrougharea.com.